In Matthew 6, 5 through 8, Jesus is teaching about prayer. And he says, when you pray, don't be like the hypocrites who want to be seen, or like the Gentiles who use many, many words. He said instead, he offers two things. One, pray in secret, and two, pray simply, knowing that the Father knows what you need before you ask. And here I find myself challenged once again. How do I pray and why? I can certainly think of intense times of prayers where I felt like I needed to push back the resistance. Now, maybe I was being led by the Spirit into spiritual warfare. That can happen. I'm not discounting that. But if I'm honest with myself, I think many times I felt, even if subconsciously, I felt like I had to press hard to convince God to somehow act on my behalf. It's like Martin Luther who said that prayer is not about overcoming God's reluctance. But if I'm honest with myself, I know that I've had these thoughts before, like I was overcoming God's reluctance. If I prayed louder, if I prayed longer, if I prayed with more intensity, or if I could just find the right words, then maybe I would get the answer that I'm looking for. It was during one of those times of intense prayer that I had a vision that changed me. I saw myself at the end of a red carpet, and the carpet was leading up to a throne room. And in the back, in the distance, I could see the throne. And I realized in the vision that this was the throne room of God. And God was seated on the throne. Now I couldn't see him fully, but I knew that it was God. And I saw that God was motioning me to come closer. And so very timidly at first, I started coming closer, edging my way up. And God kept saying, come closer, come closer, come closer. And then finally, when I was right up to him, he motioned me and said, come like here, sit on my lap. And I saw myself sitting on God's lap. And I felt his embrace, and I felt that he was holding me. And I understood what he was saying at the time. And he was saying, Chiki, you're asking me for answers. But you don't really need answers. What you need is to receive my love. Let me comfort you. There are some answers that will never satisfy what you're going through. The answers will never be enough to quiet your spirit. But if you let me hold you, if you let me embrace you, that'll be enough. See, this is the picture that Jesus is painting here. Hypocrites and Gentiles approach God as orphans, thinking that they have to fight their way to maybe earn some benefit from God. It's like they have to fight. Orphans think, I don't deserve anything, so I have to fight. I have to prove to God that I'm worthy of his doing something for me. But sons come simply. Sons come just to be with him, trusting that he will meet our needs. I want to grow in relating to Abba as his child, knowing how to be in his bosom, and just to know that all is well. Maybe you need the Father's embrace today. Maybe you're going through something. And I just hear Jesus saying, rest, my child, rest. I know what you need. I've heard your petition already. I am acting. I am working on your behalf. Will you just let me hold you today? Will you just let me comfort you today? Will you let me take you into my embrace, into my bosom, and let you know that it is well. I am with you. I am for you, and I will never leave you. Be comforted in that thought.